Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Diane, and today I am going to do some hidden paper clips. Now I've done hidden paper clips before, but these are the ones that have the tabs at the top. I know it's hard to tell that there's a tab at the top of these, but once you get them on a page in your journal and you put that paper clip on there, you know it only goes so far, and you have this tab. And these are really easy to make. It's just getting through the folding of the paper itself and getting to know that. And once you've done that a few times, you won't have any problem making these at all. It'll just be something you'll remember and be able to go through the process. So anyway, these can be done in, you can decorate them any way you want. It's endless what you can do with these. This one here, I put a little eyelet on there and a piece of ribbon. You can put dangles on them, because this part here is the tab part. You can see if I put it on here, it's going to stick up. That's as far as that paper clip goes on the page, and you have that tab. You can also see that these have a place on the back that you can decorate also, because you'll be able to see the back of these on pages once you've turned the pages. This one here, I have put a little pocket, put a little piece of lace, put a little ticket in there, just cut a little piece of paper and made this little pocket for the back part of it. Very, very simple to do. And just once you've made them and you look at your base for your hidden paper clip with the tab, you'll know with your own creativity how you want to decorate these. Of course, I use the little words, and I like to do the inking around the edge also. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And with the measurements of what you're going to need. Now, the paper I use is a scrapbook paper. It's a little heavier than the regular paper that you use for like your printing paper that you put in your printer. It's just a little heavier than that, but it's not the real hard cardstock type paper. This is the better paper to use for these. And try to use papers that don't have too much, aren't too dimensional, you know, that have wording on it, so you end up with your words upside down or something. Sometimes it's hard to get those the way you want it, but you can do it. You just have to pay attention to how you are folding your papers. And to start out, I think it's easier to use something that's a little easier and not have to worry about that part. So we're going to start with a piece of paper that is actually the length of it, the length this way, is 10 1/4 inches. This is 10 1/4 inches. Now the width is not going to determine anything except how many paper clips you're going to be able to make with this. So with this width here, and this width is about 8 1/2, this will give me 5 paper clips. They're not going to be all the same exact size, but that's approximately how many I'll get out of this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have our 8 1/4 length, and we're going to turn our paper over here on the white side, and we're going to measure 4 1/2 inches from the edge. Now this is the length part here, and we're going to go 4 1/2. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to just mark 4 1/2 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and come here at the bottom here and mark it 4 1/2 also. Right there, just make a little mark. And then, so what we're going to do, we're going to turn it back over. Got our print here. And then we're going to fold this 4 1/2. We're going to fold it up right to our little mark. So look for your little mark you got there, and there it is right there. And watch your edge and just fold, get those edges straight as you can there, and go ahead and fold that on down. Now if the edges don't get super perfect there, just remember we can always do some trimming if we need to. I use my bone folder for this fold to make it nice and crisp. I think I have told you can also use your scissors or just use your fingers. Get that fold nice and crisp. At this point, we're going to go ahead and put on our paper clips. Now I'm using the 2-inch large paper clips, and I put the long side on this side of the paper where it's folded. And I have this little extra down here. So I'm going to put the long side folding down here. And like I said, I'm going to be able to get 5. We're going to just go ahead and put those all along there. And one more. So you can see I've got 5 paper clips here. And these are going to, obviously we're going to be cutting these, but I want to just show you this is how we start out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper here, our flap here, and we're going to fold it up to the bottom of those long paper clips. And be careful not to push your paper clips up. And try to get your edges right there where you want them. Remember that we can do some trimming if we need to. We're going to go ahead and fold along there. And I don't like to use my bone folder along here so much because we got those paper clips in there. It's kind of bumpy. And we don't want to rip the paper or anything, but just your fingers along there. Okay, now turn your paper over. Now you've got this little flap at the top. We're going to take that and fold that down. We're going to fold that down right over top of those. And there we go. This part can actually be cut off if you don't want to leave it there, but I like to leave it there because it gives it a little more strength and stability. So I leave that part there. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to fold this side up to the bottom of this shorter side of the paper clips. We're going to fold that up, and we're going to try to get those edges. Just look at those edges there and fold along there. Now this is what you have, and now you go to the back, open that over again, and you're going to bring this flap right up to the bottom. And fold that right along there. Turn yours over. And you'll see you have this little fold right along here. That's where your paper clips are, up in there. And that's basically it right there. Now we're going to go ahead and cut out our hidden paper clips. Now you can, if you want, take a ruler and go through, line it up. If you want to get these straight, mark it with a pencil so you can get your paper clips lined straight if you want. I'm going to go ahead and cut that first one, but I just kind of feel the paper clips, fill them in there, and cut them out. To fill the next one, go in, cut that one out. You can see how they look. We'll fill that next one, and I'm going to tell you, I may not get these perfect. They may not be straight, but I do the best I can. And those of you that want it perfectly straight, like I said, go ahead and mark them. And there we go. Now you can see they're different sizes. This one's a little wider, and you can make these even almost as thin as the paper clip itself if you want to. But anyway, that's what you're going to end up with, is having those all. There's my 5 that I got out of that 10 1/4 by 8 1/2, I believe, 8 1/4 width. Now if you only do half that, you're only going to get 2 or 3 paper clips, but that is up to you and what paper you have. So now let's set some of these aside, and now we're going to take this and we're going to open it up. You can see that the inside's white, the outside's got our paper clip in there. You can see my paper clip's kind of shifted over, so I'm just going to move it over into the center. And now at this point I would go ahead and make a little X on the side where the long part of the paper clip goes, just for you to know that that's where it's supposed to go. Once you start making these, you won't even need to do that, but this will help you in the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that paper clip off of there. Now you can see that is the only part that's folded when you take it apart, is that part there where the paper clip goes. The reason why I take it all off is this is where I like to do and like to round my edges, because I like the looks of the edges being rounded, but you do not have to do that. You can leave them straight if you like. So I'm going to go through with my crocodile corner chomper here, and I use the 1/2 inch size, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut those corners. The reason why we do that, take the paper clip off, is just easier not having the paper clip in there. You can't get to all those corners that you want with the paper clip on there. So I'm going to go through and get those corners all trimmed up, and you'll know as you do these, it just takes practice and time of where you need to put those rounded corners. So if I was to fold this back up, I can see that I want these corners rounded, so I'm going to fold those and go ahead and round up those. And like I said, if you don't have a rounder or corner rounder, just make it, like, leave it straight. This part here, I like to have that rounded too, so I'm going to go ahead and round those. Okay, now it looks like I have all my corners rounded there, and so now I'm going to need to put my paper clip back in. And also at this point, if you want, you can also go around and before you put the paper clip in and do your inking. Not everybody likes to do inking, and that is so up to you. It's yours. Make it your own. This is your creativity, and you just do it however you want to do it. I like to do the inking. This paper here with the sunflowers, you don't see the white so much, but I like to cover up the white and get rid of that bright white underneath. So anyway, now we're going to lay our paper, and remember we marked where that paper clip goes. See where the one fold is? We're going to take our paper clip. This side is where the long part of the paper clip goes. So we fold that back in there and put that in the middle. And now we're ready to glue. Now I'm just using my Fabrifix glue. It's a little thicker glue, and it actually dries pretty quick. Some of the water-based glues I don't like to get the wrinkles on my papers, and they do cause that. You can use them, but be sparing with them. But go ahead and make sure you get around the edges. The first thing we're going to glue is this side that has this one little flap up here. So we're going to go around and make sure we get around the edges. And we're also going to go around the edge of that little flap. And we're going to come around here. And this glue, it will spread out. That's another thing about it, that being as thick as it is, it will spread out to the corners, to the edges. So that's what I like about it also. Put a little around the paper clip to make sure it's going to stay there. And then we go ahead and fold that part down, fold that flip down. And now I can see this is another spot where I needed to have it rounded. So I'm going to go ahead and get my chomper here and round those corners. And you'll find out that will happen to you. You might find out that you don't get all those corners chomped if you are chomping them, and that's okay. You can go in and do that, fix that. Now we're going to go ahead and go around this with the glue, get the edges all the way around, put a little in the middle, do some around this flap here. This is the outside back flap. And I put a little around the paper clip also. Now this will come up like this. And then around the back. Give it a little squish, push it down. You can almost see some of those little white spots, so I'll probably do a little bit of inking. But you can see there is your paper clip. And there it is. It's got the little part right here where the paper clip is, and up here is where your tab is. So take your paper clip once you've glued it and put it all together, and put it on a piece of paper and make sure you don't have any glue sticking out there. And there you go. That's how far as it goes. You got your tab there. It's ready for decorating. Take some of my ink and I'll go around and soften up some of those white spots. Be careful that, once you got your paper clip in there, you can't pull this apart. You can't pull it apart. You need to leave it together. So just be careful there, because paper clips, they do break. They can break. And then you're just going to have to start over. So anyway, there we go. And there you go. And you can add a little word. I got, me and my little words. I like to take a little word. I'll probably ink it up, put a little word on there. You can put a little lace on there. There's just several different things you can do to decorate these paper clips up. Now let's do one more real quick with the folds. And remember that we've got this, and I'm not going to do any corner chomping this time. I'm going to leave it just like this. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to leave it all straight this time, so I'm not going to have to worry about any corner chomping. I'm going to make sure that my paper clip is centered. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue. This is the side that has the little flap. I'm going to glue along the edges here, along the flap up here, along the edges here, and a little bit on the paper clip there. Put that down, bring that flap over. Now I'm going to go around to this side. You can see it's kind of crooked. That happens. It is not perfect, but it's really hard to tell that it says that once you've got it folded together, so I don't worry too much about that. But If you don't like that, then just like I said, measure when you're cutting your clips apart so that you have that straight and you won't have that issue. There we go. So this one is a straight one. So I didn't do any, you can see the difference. Now, to me, the rounded one looks more finished, but sometimes straight looks good too. You can kind of tell that that's a little crooked. A little crooked. And to fix that too, if you wanted to, you could just do a little trimming on the side. And it helps get rid of that angled looking crooked edge. There we go. And you can take your ink and ink it up around the edges. Now, if you wanted to do any inking before, you could take that paper clip out, mark that little side there, and get all your inking done before you put it together. It's up to you. Anyway, there we go. We have 2 paper clips that we've made. One with rounded corners and one that's straight. Check and see, make sure this one that's with straight edges will go down. Got my flap. Here's my one with the corner, with the rounded corners. And there you go. That's how you make a hidden paper clip with the tab. And I think there's so many things you can do with these, and they really dress up your journals. Let me show you something real quick that you can do. Let me take you out a little there so you can see. We'll go to a page here that's maybe a blank page. And you can take these paper clips and you can put them on the edge here. Edge of your paper, and there you go. You've got your little tab here. It shows your tab. Flip it over. You got your tab over here. This one's the one with the pocket. And you can see this in the journal when we first did this journal in my video, that the tabs I made out of fabric and lace. But you can do your whole journal just with these paper tabs, with the hidden paper clip and the little tabs. And it looks really, makes your journal look really nice. You can also put them up at the top. And you can have all these tabs across the top of your journal. And you can put words on them. You can put, if you're doing a trip or something, you can put, little words like, beginning, middle, end, or you can put dates or, whatever you like, whatever type of journal you are putting together. That's what you can use these for. They are so fun. They're really not that hard. Take a little practice getting used to doing that fold, but you can do it, and you can decorate them up any way you want. They can be part of your journal's themes and colors and that kind of stuff, and they're just a great addition to your journals. So I hope you can take what you've learned and use it today. Get out there, practice, and make some of these cute hidden paper clips with tabs. And there you go, Phyllis. I hope you enjoyed this too, and we will definitely start thinking about something to put in our journals for my next video. If anybody has something out there that they want to see, let me know, and go out and create and have fun. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.